All right, there, Latin 2. Latin 2. What? No, Latin AP. Here we are on book 425. So when Caesar noticed this thing, this being what we just talked about in the last chapter, he ordered the warships, or the battleships, the appearance of which was less well known to the barbarians, and the maneuvering was more ready for use. He ordered them to be withdrawn a little bit from the transport vessels. Okay, so he's got a bunch of different vessels. He says, pull back the battleships, right? Transport vessels are still there. And to be propelled by their own oars, and to basically he's backing them up and turning them sideways, okay? And then to be stationed toward the open flank of the enemy. And then with the enemy driven back and pushed off by, or he ordered that the enemy should be driven back and pushed off by slingshots, arrows, catapults, ballistae, I guess, siege engines. Which was of great, this plan was of great use to our men. Let's see. Because the barbarians were startled by the shape of our ships and the motion of our oars and the nature of our large weapons, which was odd to them. They stopped, the barbarians did, and shortly after they fell back a little. And while our men were hesitant as to whether or not they should advance to the shore, mostly because the depth of the sea in that space. So our men were like, yeah, but we're not going to follow them. The eagle bearer, the Aquilifer, who bore the eagle of the 10th Legion, once he had prayed to the gods that things would turn out favorably for his legion, he shouted out, "Jump down, my fellow soldiers. Unless you want to surrender the eagle to our enemy, I certainly will have performed my duty to the Republic and to my commander." After he said this with a loud voice, he hurled himself from the ship and began to charge forth with the eagle toward the enemies. Then our men, encouraging each other so that, or in order to not allow such a great shame, they at once they all together jumped from the ship. After the men in front on the neighboring ships saw these men, they followed right after, and they, the guys who were on other ships, are going, oh, they're doing it, we're all doing it, let's go. They likewise were hastily charging toward the enemies. And so that is the end of book 425. Now, I say that this particular chapter is the entire centerpiece of the entirety of Caesar's Gallic Wars. And I do think that Aquilifer is absolutely a cutout for Caesar. So we're going to talk about that, I'm hoping, in person. So anyway, I'm going to hit the button.